budget cuts locally were a tremendous impact. That being said, I'm very proud that our Board of Ed and our association agreed through table discussions that no job cuts. I've seen an increase in my class sizes, and my colleagues are experiencing similar situations in their classes. I appreciate the parents are sending us their very best. I love my students, I love teaching them, but it makes it difficult. It's an obstacle, and it's unfair for the delivery of instruction. We were looking forward to returning to managing the class sizes as quickly as possible. Student growth is compromised with larger class sizes when we look at 15 to 20 students learning and receiving the instruction. That is an obstacle when you have 28, 29, 30 students in that classroom. There are noticeable differences. The best part of my day is when I close the door and I turn around and teach. That's very exciting. The challenge is when I go home in the evening, I open up my wallet and there's $350 less per month. That's a tremendous impact personally. My wife and I have made the choice to get that second and third job for me so that we can provide and make up the difference. Locally in Talbot County, we had to protect jobs, which we did through good decision making. However, we had to change the cost share, the healthcare cost sharing from 98.2 reset back to 85.15. There was a pay freeze on the pay scale, and that's expensive, and we had to find compromise.
I love my job. I love the kids. I take care of attendance. I see lots of kids throughout the year, and I feel that when our kids come into the building in the mornings that we're the best some of them have all day long. I feel that we need to be there for them and be on our game and give them the best that we have. And I'm concerned about the budget cuts. I'm concerned that if we have to cut the budget where we lose support staff and quality teachers, that our kids won't have that consistency. Things have changed over the years since I've been there. We have about 1,100 students, and 18 years ago when I first started, not that I don't see smiles and happy kids in our hallways now, I do, but I see less of it. And I think these kids need to know that when they come into school, what they expect to be there will be there. Some of them need parents figures, some of them need a friend, some of them just need a place to feel secure. I think our economy has had a profound impact on the kids that are out there. I think that their home lives have changed. Their parents' stresses fall back onto them. They carry that. It's a heavy weight. They bring that into school with them. They're dealing with a lot more, which means our teachers are dealing with a lot more. Our teachers are dealing with having to get through all of that stuff and then be able to teach them. You need good people in the classroom. You need good, strong, healthy people that care about kids. And if they're not going to be compensated, if they're not going to be valued for what they can give, we're all going to pay the price for that. Not just the state of Maryland, but the entire country will pay the price for that eventually, if not today, tomorrow, 10 years from now. I really do feel that we'll see that, the evidence of that.
I have the in-school suspension room. So before budget cuts, I was in my room 95% of the time. The kids were used to me, they're familiar with me, so when they needed to come out, they were comfortable in my room. Now that's not the case. I'm not in there all the time. I'm filling in classrooms, covering for teachers that don't have a sub. They're moved from spot to spot to spot. There's not one place for them to just be comfortable with and be familiar with. Fully fund us. Fund education. We're raising your students.
Dear legislators, thank you for your hard work. However, there are some corrections that have to be made now, immediately. I appreciate the structural deficit, the repair that has to be done there. we need to address it a little bit differently. Specifically, the teacher tax. I'm talking about the contribution, the 2% contribution added to the 5% I'm happy to pay for my pension. The cost sharing is appropriate. However, the cap and everything above the cap that is shifted over to accommodate the structural deficit, do it differently with my help.